ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਗੁੱਡ ਈਵਨਿੰਗ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੋ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਫੇਰ ਪਲਕ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਸ਼ ਪਰਦੇਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਚੈਨਲ ਵਿੱਚ CHAH ਮਾਈ ਰੇਡੀਓ 580 AM ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਖਾਸ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਸੋ ਲੈਟਸ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਹਰ ਫਰਸਟ ਸੋ ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ICWA Executive Director Jodi Zabludowsi with us and welcoming you to the my radio 580 AM ma'am.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Thank you for sparing out your precious time and you're available for us for discussing about your association. So let us begin with the discussion. So friends, she is from Indo-Canadian Women Association and they carry the tagline of changing attitudes since 1984. So they have been established 35 years ago and it is amongst the few organizations in Edmonton that have been advocating for the protection of rights of immigrants, women, men and youth alike. So, Ms. Jodi, I would just like asking you, what does it reflect, changing attitudes since 1984? It's a line that's written on your website, and how do you advocate that?
Yeah, changing attitudes is very important because, years ago when it was first established, there were a lot of women who faced discrimination and racism. So we want to change the attitude so that everybody feels equal and welcome in Canada.
Right.
We want everyone to feel welcome and enjoy life in Edmonton, Alberta, and Canada as a whole.
That's beautiful. So what do you think with the changing times since the formation of this association? Has there any change in the attitude towards women from the society?
Well, I would have to say that women right now feel that they can have more rights. And there's more resources out for them out there. So if they have a problem, they come to an organization like ICWA, and we help them get the resources that they need to live a much better and improved quality of life.
That's great. So in what spheres is your association working when it comes to the immigrant women population that's coming to Canada from the different spheres of the world? So basically, in what spheres are you dealing in?
Okay, well, one of the main programs that we offer to help immigrant women is teaching English as a second language.
Oh, great.
Yeah, which is really great because one of the first things they need to be able to do is communicate properly.
Yeah.
So if they communicate properly, then they can serve their needs.
Exactly.
So even if they need to go into a grocery store and know how to shop properly and converse with the salesperson, that's very, very, very helpful. So we teach English as a second language. We get funded through a program called ICWA, which is Edmonton Community Adult Learning Association.
Okay.
So they help us with the funding for that program. We teach English as a second language 2 nights a week, and we also have senior conversational classes. So just being able to converse on a day-to-day basis, we help seniors. And we also have a computer class.
That's great.
Basic digital skills. And actually, we're looking for volunteers for basic digital skills to teach adults, immigrant women and all women in need who need to learn basic word skills, Excel, how to use WhatsApp.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So teaching them with the technology that is, presently being used. And without technology, I think so moving in such present time, that's really difficult.
Exactly.
Specifically in the time of pandemic when COVID is stricken and everyone was isolated from the other members of the family. So everyone was inside their homes and technology did help us a lot.
Everyone right now to communicate with loved ones have been using Zoom. And it is easy to use if you know how to use it, but we've been teaching people, new immigrants and anybody, how to use Zoom. And it's very, very important. So then they feel that they can be open with their family, have good conversations, see them, and even take some courses as well.
And avoid homesickness. That is the major thing that strikes immigrants, right?
Exactly. So you don't feel so alone.
Right. So you have been holding classes for women's, you said twice a week.
Twice a week, and we also have conversational classes 3 times a week. And what's interesting, in the spring, we're going to be having, for Indo-Canadians, a book club So we've chosen 3 really fantastic books.
Oh.
And so if people are interested in improving their English skills, reading, and then conversing, they can join our book club.
Oh, that's great. And indeed, it would be very learnable, knowledgeable experience for everyone. So this is about the females and the senior citizens that you told, right?
Right.
What about the youth and who are striving to balance into the new culture, new country, and they're moving from, they're moving into a new age also. And how is your association helping them? Are there any programs that you're running for the youth?
Well, after COVID, we're looking to establish more programs for youth, that's for sure. But there are a lot of grandparents who live with youth.
Yeah.
So we help the grandparents learn the skills they need so that they can interact with their youth properly. And when the parents are away working, the grandparents look after the children. So that way there's better communication between the grandparent and the children. They can help them with their homework. The more the grandparents learn, the better off their relationship is. So when the kids are going to school, they can help them with their problems. So in that way, we do help youth. Because we look at the family as a whole.
So any sort of cultural activities like any theater or any sort of such workshops are you conducting for the youth that'll be helping them to get settled down in the new country?
That is something that we're definitely going to be working on in the future.
Okay.
And we even want to establish in the future some kind of anti-bullying program for youth.
Yes.
So that is something we're pursuing. We're just trying to plan the program and then go after the funding for it. So that it's a very important program.
How much do you think that youth is getting addicted towards, drug abuse, I would say? Is your association doing something in this regard in mental health work or something like where the youth, to deviate them to not allow them towards getting deviated towards this drug abuse?
Well, mental health is a big concern for all ages.
Exactly.
So we really want to address mental health issues, whether it be seniors, women. With the pandemic, there was an increase of domestic violence.
Yeah.
So we do help people who are undergoing that problem. They call our office, and we try to connect them with resources as much as possible. As a matter of fact, we have a lawyer who dedicates her time called a pro bono clinic. Oh. So if a woman needs a lawyer, they call our office, and we set up an appointment with this lawyer, and then they can help them with any immigration issues, family violence issues that are legally related. So we've helped so many women through that pro bono clinic program.
That's indeed great because when a woman is suffering from any such sort of problem, so she needs someone not only at a personal level but also at a professional level that can guide them to get away from such problems.
Exactly.
So that's indeed beautiful. And what other programs is your association running for the immigrants that are moving into the country?
Well, we do have a grandparent support group, and for instance, we do provide excellent speakers, professional speakers. So, for instance, on March 8th, we're having a speaker from Alberta Health Services talk about seniors' health benefits. It's on Zoom. Anybody can sign up. It's free, and all they have to do is call our office. We'll send you the link to register. It's only for about an hour and a half on March 8th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But on a regular basis, we offer informational sessions for people on all different kinds of topics with really fantastic experts. And the other thing I would like to mention is that we have a book that we printed called the Family Law Guidebook for Recent Immigrants. It gives a background about our organization, but what's more important is it really gives information about what happens when you're a newcomer and all the different kinds of laws that are in Edmonton, Alberta, and Canada that they have to learn about. It's quite a large book. It's very well written, and we just are printing a version in Hindi. We're so excited about it. Yeah. So it's going to go in for printing. If anybody would like an English copy, all they need to do is contact our office, call our office, or email us at 780-490-0477. We'd be happy to help anybody who would like to call our office.
Now, that's an exciting news that you've the family law book coming up in Hindi. So
yeah, we're really excited about it. Yeah.
But thanks a lot for putting in efforts for that, because there's a good strata of society that wants to read it in another language also.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to try to get it translated into other languages too, but we just need to get the funding for it. So, I mean, we're always looking for donations, right?
People would be loving to read it in Punjabi, because we have a good section of society here who are Punjabis here.
Exactly. That's going to be our next goal, to print it in Punjabi.
Hope so we get to grab a copy of it in Punjabi too. That'd be lovely.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And if talking about on general aspect, when the immigrants move into a new country, what is the major problems that you see when an immigrant is moving? Communication part, you said that you're trying and you're taking up the classes so that they learn English.
Yeah.
That is a major problem. But apart from the communication thing, what are the other problems that not only the females, but also considering the males and the youth, they get to face when they're moving as an immigrant to this country?
Right, exactly. Well, sometimes, when people come as a newcomer and they come to this country, they feel so isolated. They say that there's a honeymoon period when people come and they say, oh, this is such a beautiful country and it's so free here and everything. But then the honeymoon wears off and then they go, oh no, now what am I going to do? So they do feel isolated.
Right.
So if they call our organization, we will connect them with resources to help.
Right.
And we do have, like I said, the grandparents support group. And as time goes on, after COVID, we'll be establishing, before COVID, we had people get together and do cooking classes.
Oh, beautiful.
So we would like to get to that again.
Right. So that helps to not only get mixed up with the people of your society, but also getting that boredom and loneliness, keeping it away from you, right?
Yeah.
So did you find any sort of increase in the cases of mental health problems? Like you said, yes, that the violence cases did rise up in the time of pandemic. Apart from the violence cases, is there any sort of other problems that you saw that the immigrants were facing that went upscale in the time of the pandemic?
Well, for sure, because people feel really alone, and winter time is a difficult period of time because it's so cold and the streets are icy. People tend to stay home and not go out. So our goal eventually is also to establish some kind of walking group where it's for the exercise, it's true, but it's also for the social aspect, so that people can talk to each other and be familiar, make friends. Social isolation is really a big part of mental health.
It creates havoc in the life.
We want people to be able to get together and talk.
So you're looking for volunteers for the classes, right? You said for the tech classes.
Yeah, exactly. But any type of volunteer would be great. They could call us up and we'll place them in, especially as the summer comes and COVID is, going into a different direction. It'll be nice to have
So you
classes.
can speak out your number and the contact numbers and the email IDs where people can contact you in case they want to volunteer for that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, our email is info@icwaedmonton.org. And our phone number is 780-490-0477.
So that's lovely to hear about that, what all the things you're doing for the immigrants that have been moving here. Apart from this, talking about the youth, because youth is a portion of a society that we're saying is a future of is the generation next and the future of a country. So when talking about that, like you said, you would be coming up with a theater or any sort of that cultural programs where they can connect with the people over here. At present, what are the services that your association, what are the programs that your association is running out for the youth?
Yeah. Okay, well, you know what? The theme this year for International Women's Day is breaking the bias, and a lot of youth have trouble with that.
And it's your 33rd, I suppose.
38th anniversary.
38th anniversary, that's lovely. I was reading that.
We're the 38th anniversary. So we hope that the youth will connect with our International Women's Day events. Youth, women, men, all ages, seniors. We are planning such a great program. Now, normally, International Women's Day is March the 8th.
Yeah.
But we know there's going to be a lot of things happening on March 8th, so we wanted to be a little different. So our International Women's Day is being celebrated on Saturday, March 26th at 2 o'clock. It's free to attend, no charge. All you have to do is get the link. It's going to be fantastic. We have speakers that are going to appeal to all ages, including youth. We're celebrating the fantastic International Women's Day on Saturday, March 26th on Zoom. It's free to attend. Anybody, all age groups, women, men, youth, seniors, grandparents, everybody would like to. First of all, we are so excited because we have Adrienne Lamb from CBC, who's going to be our MC. She's fantastic. As you're fantastic too, Palak, I have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's such a pleasure to meet you.
Same here.
We are very fortunate to have a counselor, Karen Tang, who's going to be, she's from Ward Carhi Ho, which is the Mill Woods area, and she's of Asian descent, so she's going to talk a little bit about what it was like to run as a city councillor being of Asian descent. So that'll be really, really interesting. And we are honored to have Dr. Bukala Salami. She is from the university, from the Faculty of Nursing. She is such a well-known speaker. And she's going to be, talking about gender bias and all the study, the work that she's been doing to help the community. She's a very engaging speaker. We're also very fortunate to have Marnie Panis. And Marnie works in the diversity and equity area for Alberta Health Services. So Marnie's fantastic. And the theme this year is very interesting. It's Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, Breaking the Bias.
That's interesting.
It is very, very interesting. And plus we have entertainment. We're going to have dancers. Lovely. We're going to have piano players in between. So it's on Zoom, and we just hope that people will register, and all they have to do is email us at info@icwaedmonton.org, and we'll send them the link to register.
That's lovely, and it would be indeed a knowledgeable experience in joining and learning a lot of things. I thought gender bias is a thing of a past days. It's gone are the days when this used to happen, but I think so. It still exists in the present society also.
It still exists, and you think that there's equality out there, but really, there's still a long way to go.
Right. On the ground levels, there are a lot of things that needs to be corrected. So just I would be wrapping up the things and asking you, there's a war going on between Russia and Ukraine, and there's a forced migration that happens when voluntary people do not want to move out from a country, but yes, they are forced by the governments to leave a country and move into some other country. So when you see that such sort of migration happens, what are the major issues that the immigrants face?
Well, because it's a forced migration and didn't choose to leave their country, it's going to be very stressful for the immigrants that are going to come to Canada. And I hope that the government accepts as many as possible because, it's not easy what's going on in the Ukraine and Russia. But we will do our best.
Depression and all that.
Yeah, to help meet their needs. One-on-one, we'll meet with them. We'll find out what their issues are, and we'll help to resolve their issues. And if it means establishing special classes for them, getting them together, we will do that. We will try our best to meet the needs of the new immigrants coming from Ukraine.
Great efforts of your association. At end, I would just request you, if you have any message for the people out there, if you want to say any message from your association, so you can go ahead with that.
Yeah, okay. Well, ICWA started as a grassroots organization. They saw a need in 1984, and they filled that need. We have a wonderful group, volunteer group of board members who are so dedicated. And I know with that dedicated group of board members that we have, and with the volunteers and with the wonderful staff, we can do so much to help new immigrants get acquainted to Canada.
That's lovely. And indeed, it was a pleasure getting knowledge from you about the association, Indo-Canadian Women's Association. And I would really request the listeners out there, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲਈ ICWA ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ, ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ. ਹਜੇ Executive Director Ms. Jodi, she is here with us. The number of the studio is 7804390000 ਤੇ Calgary ਦੇ ਲਈ 403-930-1415 ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ. The ID is info@myradio580.com, and they have lovely programs going out there. So वक्त है जी छोटे जे commercial break da, and I'll be right there after that. So thank you for joining us. Indeed, it was a pleasure and a knowledgeable experience with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Palak, and it was wonderful to meet you.
Thank you.